But I think he has more stories to tell. I cannot believe that he's the only one responsible, because remember, he was the controller. I cannot believe that as controller, he had complete control of the funds of the armed forces of the Philippines when it required the approval of personalities, officers higher than he was during his time. Now, note also that in the speech of the President, he mentioned in the body of the speech only 3 persons, I think, as far as I can remember. And that shows you the importance of his marching orders. The first one was mentioning Secretary de Lima, that's justice. In other words, this is going to be the highlight of his administration, the pursuit and prosecution of justice. And he mentioned his own personal experience as a victim of injustice. I think this does not need to be told and retold how the family suffered because of injustice. The second mention is Secretary of Agriculture Alcala. And the marching order for Alcala is to set up trade centers in order to minimize the profits of the middlemen. So that, he said, the farmer and the consumers are going to benefit from removing the middlemen from the transaction. And I think if we look at how much a product costs ex-farm to the price of the product in the market, I think some people are saying that between the farm and the market, maybe you have to multiply it by 3, 4, 5 times. And a lot of that goes to the middlemen. So malaking bagay ito. And of course, the third mention is Justice Davide of the Truth Commission.
Pabalikan ko lang yung Davide Commission. Si Justice Davide hindi bago sa commission. Nakapag-participate na sa mga nakaraang commission. Anong kanyang track record? Anong track record ni Justice Davide sa paghawak ng commission nag-investigate ng mga nakaraan?
Yeah, sa coup. Sa coup. Pero siyang ginawa, and a lot of this was validated by the Feliciano Commission also as a result of the July 2003 mutiny in Makati. So na-validate niya with respect to grievances against the leaders in the military, corruption in the military, etc., etc., favoritism in the promotion. But in this particular case, this is going to be a more challenging job for him, because these are cases that could not be investigated because they were insulated primarily by AO 464. I don't know, the Supreme Court already struck down most of the principal features of AO 464, but there's still some hangover situation there, which I think must be fully struck down before the Truth Commission can really become effective. Of course, we can anticipate that one of the key personalities who will be invited would be Neri, former, I don't know his status now, but the last time I heard is the SSS chairman, Robin Neri. He will be one of the key personalities. Yung fertilizer scam, Volante will have a reprise because he will be, I'm sure, recalled together with other officials of the Department of Agriculture. But of course, the Truth Commission, if you ask me, will still have to compete also with parallel inquiries that will necessarily be conducted by Congress, both the Senate and the House of Representatives. Of course, in the House, it will be quite an interesting proposition because we have some new members of the House who came from the previous administration who may be there to participate, either to facilitate or maybe to interject some processes to make the inquiry more challenging.
Ano bang idea na Truth Commission? Kasi kung pattern ito after South African Truth Commission, hindi naglalayo magpakulong, kung hindi magpatawaran, malaman lamang kung ano ang nangyari during apartheid. Dapat ba may prosecutorial power ng Truth Commission na ito?
Well, definitely, I don't think so, because the prosecutorial powers would remain unless changed by law with the Department of Justice and the Office of the Ombudsman. We have to amend the laws pertaining to prosecution. But just like in the case of Congress, whatever are the facts gathered by the Truth Commission, this can be passed on, turned over to the Department of Justice, and of course, Secretary de Lima has her marching orders, or the Office of the Ombudsman, as the case may be.
So, masasabi natin tagumpay ang Truth Commission pag may naipakulong ng malaking isda?
Not necessarily, because in many instances, what people might want is closure to find out the truth. For example, I'm aware of some families who may have lost a member because of certain reasons, action by the police, action by other criminal groups, maybe an accident. They have no desire to prosecute. They only want to find out what really happened. They want closure. In this particular case, in many instances, maybe the objective is closure. Like, for example, the Garci case. What happened in 2004 would be already moot and academic because natapos na yung term nung nanalo ng 2004. This will have a bearing on electoral reform, but it will have no bearing on the personalities who may have benefited from whatever happened as a result of the Garci case in 2004. But people still would like to have closure. But in the case of the fertilizer scam, that to me is a live case because you're talking here of money being misappropriated. So the closure there would be proper prosecution.
Okay. Salamat po. Kumenta natin mga kasamahan. Raise your hands.
Sir, sa mga kasalanan ni Gloria, sa tingin nyo ba tama lang na ikulong siya? O makulong siya?
No, I think we should not, we should not talk about what would be the appropriate punishment here, but let's talk of the process.
Sir, marami na siyang kaso dahil the commission there. Also, should there be time frame within which
I don't know. When you talk of fact finding, it's a very delicate, sensitive matter. A hasty process might defeat the very purpose of the fact-finding process. On the other hand, if we dilly-dally, that will also compromise the process. So, dapat tamang-tama lang. I don't know if we can set deadlines on specific cases. As I said, as you said, there are so many cases to be handled. Each could be a gargantuan task on the part of the Truth Commission. Garci, fertilizer scam, CTE, these are very complicated cases that will take a very long time.
May I please react?
May tanong lang po.